So Bitcoin has begun to retrace, but let's see if this will be the lowest it goes, or could it go a bit lower? But welcome everybody to Crypto Angles podcast number 55. My name is Kelita, Sahliah, and over here we look at astrology and combine it with the crypto market. But of course, it's astrology of the sky, where astrology truly happens, not Western mainstream tropical astrology. So welcome. Usually the order of the video, we'll go over the astrological story for this cycle, and then we'll look at the technical analysis for Bitcoin, XRP, and the DXY. So let's get into it. It's probably going to be a short video, but let's get straight into it anyway. There's no Gematria connections for this cycle. I do have some interesting things, but just not feeling it right now. So let's get into this story. So we're going from the 21st, which is today, to the 27th, and what's happening is we're getting our full moon, we're getting Mars going into Pisces, as well as Mercury stationing direct. So, as I mentioned in my past video, forgive me if you hear noise as well, my neighbour's doing his car outside, if you hear music too, because the sun is shining, weather outside is good. Anyway, Leave the World Behind, that video I shown you, and I said check it out on my TikTok or my YouTube, brought up this pink moon. So I'm curious about it, especially how the market will be moving while it's in it, because the moon energy, if you don't know, it lasts for 5 days before and 5 days after usually. So we're obviously already in it now, but we've got 5 days after the 24th, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh excuse me, basically up until May, you know, give or take up until May. And what's happening in May, yeah, we're getting our third quarter moon there before we shift and transition into finding our new resistance on the 8th of May. So the fact that it's in Libra is telling me balance may try and come, so it's going to be interesting how that plays out. It being an air sign, and obviously the market is water, and the way I kind of see it, with the market being water, air elements and air signs can kind of push it, if you know what I mean. That's my perspective, meaning there could be a bit more volatility, like air can make water rage basically. So it could be a bit more volatile. However, when it comes to full moons as well, usually once it's found its local support and bottom, you can then long it, or you can then use that opportunity to enter the market, dollar cost average for example. So it's just going to be interesting really how low it goes down to find its bottom, or has it already found it? Because of course we were in this full moon energy from Friday. So we entered into that full moon energy at the end of last cycle. So has price already potentially found its bottom, and is it getting ready to move up? So we'll see when we look at the technical analysis. It's going to be interesting. But Libra's about balance anyway. So I'm kind of seeing, even if we get a deeper correction, we are creating balance for continuation in the market. And if where it's at now, that is the lowest, and it's just going to continue on up, then again it's like it stopped out there to maintain that balance for continuation. So this Mars in Pisces is interesting. This will be based more on people's actions and how they act towards the market and how they start to invest into it. Mars again being fire, Pisces being water. So again, we've got a lot of passion, probably volatility beginning to happen in the market. And then we've got our Mercury stationing direct. So usually price can, how can I put it, price can be creating downward momentum in, I wouldn't say all Mercury retrogrades, but a good amount of Mercury retrogrades. And now it's getting ready to station direct. So especially whilst we're still in Mercury retrograde up until this point, and we are in Mercury retrograde in Pisces for Mercury, as you can see here. So again, we're getting that double Pisces energy with Mercury and Mars anyway. Could price still be trying to find its bottom during this time? And as we enter out of Mercury retrograde, that's when we begin to see true recovery from this what's it called, from this retracement that the market has had. So they're the potentials I'm seeing with the movements this cycle. So let's get into the technical analysis. So going on to Bitcoin, as you can see, Bitcoin is yeah, we got rejected off of that moon quite clearly. Let's just put the moon phases on. So we got that nice rejection. Oh, my mother is back home. She's coming back right now. Okay, but we've got that clear rejection of the moon with Bitcoin. I drew this box here and it actually hit the box better than it hit the moon, which was interesting. But yeah, so then we got that clear rejection from that point. But then I'm wondering, I'm not quite sure why this blue line is here, why I drew it, to be honest. Let's just get rid of that because it's kind of distracting me. I wonder if we've done, well, we have done a simple break and retest though. I'm just going to get rid of these moving averages too, because as you can see, price is below the moving averages. Is below it. So is that a sign of weakness? But of course we are above the 200, so could price easily find support on the 200 whilst we're still coming out of this Mercury retrograde energy for the rest of this cycle, whilst price wants to fully find its bottom, and that could take up until confirmation, but that could take up until going into May if it wants to draw it out, but it could be before that. It could be this cycle. So do keep that in mind. Oh gosh, I forgot something, but we'll get back to it anyway. So yeah, I am showing the fact that it's underneath these EMAs is a sign of weakness. We broke out of this little red triangle as I drew. Oh, what's happened? Glitching. We broke out of this little red triangle. You can see I drew a line here and there, and then we broke to the downside, just like all of the cryptocurrencies. So it's like, are we coming back up now to retest that? And could we, in the space and time while price is trying to find its support, is this just a breakdown and a retest, even of this horizontal zone right here? I'll just draw a little box too, a rectangle. Will we get stopped out at this zone? Basically, where it's at now. Pretty much where it's at now, where the moving averages are hitting it. Could we get rejected and come back down to this level? Will it just find its true support on this level and then continue on up? Or will we break down to another level and gain a stronger support? I'll be honest, this is obviously like a double bottom, which is kind of good, I guess. And it could, you know, come back up and make this quadruple top. But I'm feeling a slight correction down would just be more healthy, to be honest. And like I says, this is definitely a zone, this 51, yeah, this 51 to 53 I'm seeing is it's a healthy zone. And I'll even be more honest, if price is to even just to wick down to this 44 level, that may be the possible lowest if we get a noticeable correction. But if not this zone, I'm saying at least here for like minimum healthy structure, to be honest, because there's just not much trading happening. It's like having a nice retest and then continuation. Just looks good. But let's take a look at the RSI, because just looking at the RSI and the daily, there's definitely still more room to come down. But let's extend it so we can see. Yeah, so on the RSI, after we had our Batman head, we've, what have we done? We've broken below the 50, and we could clearly get rejected off of this moving average and at the 50 as well. So again, that's showing there's definitely more room for it to come down. But we all know, even if the RSI comes down, price may not come down that much, or it could be giving us a bullish divergence where price comes down more but the RSI is higher. So that of course would be positive. That would be positive for upward continuation if it was to create that. But of course this full moon's going to come in, so will it come in lower than this point or the same point? You know, so it's just keeping an eye on that. But I am seeing a bit more retracement is possible. When we look into the DXY, we'll obviously check to see Wagwan, because that will show us. Okay, so we've been in the red for a while when it comes to the MACD, so it is going to be interesting. Could we get a little bit more darker red, but slowly recover out of the red whilst it's still creating some lows down, but it's like it's slowing down, getting ready for reversal. That's why it's like I'm more likely drawn to this 51 to 53k region. But if we cannot hold that, only if we can't hold it, then I'm saying it's the 44 to 45 region, and that's touching and retesting this parallel channel that has been in it for a minute. So again, that would still be healthy, and I wouldn't be like shocked or surprised if we are to do that, because just look, it's a nice healthy channel. But we could have created another one anyway. And you know, someone was just like, on my last video, why don't you leave the real price, the price calls to people who can do real TA, something like that. Bitch, stop watching my video, go away. Just go away. Like, I don't understand people commenting unnecessary comments. If you don't like it, don't comment. You know what I'm saying? No one is telling you to watch an hour's worth of my video. You have chosen to do that. You came up with your own synopsis. You know what I'm saying? Why not leave a constructive comment and say, oh, I'm seeing it this way? That's absolutely fine. Share your ideas, let's communicate, but don't leave unnecessary comments. Just stop watching the video, geleng, take away yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this nonsense, it's fine on TikTok. People can talk whatever, but I can't be bothered on YouTube. It's long. People are more mature. Come on. Just come on. Anyway, that's basically what I'm seeing. But look at this parallel channel, which I have shown before, but it's been trading in it for a minute. So that's just another reason why I wouldn't be surprised, and I'd also feel it's healthy if we, even if it's a wick, we retest the wick of the top of this parallel trend line, even if it's a wick. But of course, I feel here is still a healthy zone because we've had a bit of trading happening here. It was our resistance and we broke through it, came our resistance again, and there was a little trading cluster over here. But yeah, price still has it's still super extended from the moving average, so it's like it needs time for them to catch up. Definitely like at minimum to this 50k region. It could gain nice support on the 200 whilst the luminary moving averages continue to move up and go on upwards. We do also have historically I do not have the chart, so in my next video I'll have it up and ready because searching for it is long. But historically, in an election year, May and June are usually, April, May, June, or April and May are usually the worst months. June is like slower but recovering, and then it's like good for July and August. So I am seeing like new highs in summer, so it's going to be interesting. I'm just basically seeing from now, definitely in May, potentially June, but before we kind of get into summer, or definitely the heart of summer, it's just going to be perfect to dollar cost average. That's what I'm seeing. It's going to be good opportunities to buy in, so we'll see how this plays out. Will we just stop here? Will we drop lower and just stay here, or will we come touch the tip of this, trade on the outside, which I feel will be healthy, and then go up? Or will the market makers want to play with people's emotions even more and dip it into the parallel channel, just like XRP's gone back into it, and like some V-shaped recovery, and come back out and continue on up? We'll see, but 51k to 53 is more in my price target. So that is what I'm seeing for the bit of the coin. We've not ended a month yet, have we? And yeah, just checking on the 4 hour. Checking on the 4 hour. It's just getting weaker and weaker, so it's just kind of confirming to me this is probably going to get rejected off of this level and come back down. It is getting a nice little support off of these moving averages, but it is underneath the 200, which isn't a good sign. It's not a good sign. So on the 4 hour wise, especially if we come back down to the 50 odd k, 51k to 53, it would bring us below the moving averages on the 4 hour. But just looking on the daily, that's what it's kind of seeming right now. Yeah, but let's move on. Let's not be on these for too long. I got things to do. So let's take Spike 2. We're on our way to France. Don't forget your underpants. I watched Rugrats in Paris the other day with the children. It was lovely. It was lovely. So the X of the PISCES. And gosh, I know this chart just looks awful, but I've just got all my lines. Maybe we'll open up another chart. What was this green line for? We created another triangle, didn't we? Yes. Oh, yes. That was that triangle where I was like, are we going to trade within it? Are we going to trade within it and then break out? But what it did, it broke out, traded on top, and then broke back in. This is funny. This is funny. This is funny, but I do wonder if it's made like a bigger triangle on a larger scale. But it has gone back into this triangle, so it is interesting that it jumped up and went back in, went below it and then back in. I'm wondering if it's still just going to coil up. Obviously this dropped much lower than Bitcoin did. Some of the altcoins dropped lower, but XRP did do like probably one of the most percentage, because of course XRP likes to do what XRP likes to do. So yeah, like I don't know, it's going to be interesting, because the way obviously the market works, it will bring down, if Bitcoin drops like lower, it's going to bring down the altcoins as well. But it's like XRP doesn't have much more room to go. It doesn't have much more room to go. It's already created a lower low. Let's just zoom out. It's already created a lower low. Yeah. It's like in this, I don't know if that would be a full triangle, because it would miss these points and only go to that point. So that's just one. So because we've had like more rejection here and a lovely retest as a support, I'm going to leave this green line rather than drawing another one. But yeah, we're definitely back in this big triangle that happened since July 2023. We're trading within it again. So how's it going to be? Could we get a double bottom? Basically, if Bitcoin moves down as low as it could possibly do, or it could just, you know, make another double bottom where it is, could it push XRP to go lower? And that really is what we don't want. We don't want that at all, to be honest. Not at all. I mean, we have wicked down below to this point, but like I says, when it comes to XRP, we get these wicks and then we trade into it, but we never usually fill the whole wick. As you can see here, we wicked down, came up, we traded back a bit lower. As you can see here, we had this massive wick down, came up, and then we traded kind of back into it, but never, even though we had another wick, it still wasn't as low as the first wick. So that's what I'm going to be keeping my eye out on. I don't feel it will be as low as this wick if we have lows coming down. It's like that gives a signal of where it's going to go. That's something I've just been observing across the years, to be honest. It's always that big massive wick. It's that one. But oh, I never see this woman hardly ever. But yeah, so basically I'm seeing if we are going to get pulled down, if Bitcoin comes back down, it's going to be interesting if we get pulled back down a little bit more, even to this white line. I put this white line here because it's quite potent, like the area it retested back and traded a bit more at after this liquidation wick. Basically, if we come back down, could we just come back down to that level, or will XRP just trade within here? It's going to be interesting to see what Bitcoin does, or will XRP decouple from it and have its own say. As you can see with the RSI, unlike Bitcoin had more room to go down. XRP has already touched being oversold. It's already touched that being oversold with that wick. So this is kind of confirming to me, if we were to come down, there's just less room. It's either touching the bottom of this parallel channel again. But yeah, I'm seeing just less room for XRP to go down. But of course, if Bitcoin goes down, oh, it will go down too. Okay. With the MACD of the T, obviously we're getting, it looks like the blue may begin to cross the red. Possibly. I mean, if it does that, then it's showing a shift. Look, when the blue crossed over the red, we went into the green, wasn't it? Blue on the red, green when yeah, blue on the red here, we were green. When it switches over and blue's underneath, we're going down. So it does look like the way they're positioned, it looks like the blue is getting ready to cross over the red. Again, kind of confirming not much room if it was to just go down a little bit more. Just not much room. Obviously, because we have had like a lot of upward momentum. Move over, laptop. You can do this. We're almost finished. Because it has had a lot of upward momentum, again, we are just like Bitcoin underneath all of these moving averages, and price was struggling to get above the luminary moving averages, which is the colors. You have to really look good to see this, but could we get that little rejection? It gets rejected, but could we just hit back here again? If we get lower than this wick, that's when it's concerning. So ultimately, we just have to see where price wants to solidify its bottom during these moons, during this moon cycle, and see where it is after this Mercury retrograde finishes, because we could be seeing a recovery after Mercury retrograde, a stronger recovery whilst it's still in this full moon phase, or we could get the action in the full moon. So we'll see how this cycle goes. It's going to be interesting. Oh, and people, by the way, there is still the buy one get one free on this calendar, so make sure you grab it. If you buy the digital calendar, you can get the physical one for free. Reason being, there's like two minor mistakes with the eclipses just in October and March. but everything else is fine. But there's the Virgo in me, so I'm like, if you grab the cheaper calendar, which is the digital one, you can get the physical one for free, because the digital one will be fully updated, and you just have to pay postage and packaging for the physical calendar, and that is it. So do make sure you grab it. It's available, of course, on Etsy right here, the digital calendar. So help you girl out. And there's a message here as well. There's also 10% off. You can include that too if you'd like it. But journey with me, people, journey with me. But that's pretty much what I am seeing for XRP. I know I didn't pull up any fibs. You want me to? Should we pull up a fib? Again, kind of like the way it's moving, we're getting closer to being overbought. Still got some room though, got much room to be honest. But we're getting this lovely little support, but again, it's underneath the 200 and the luminary moving averages. So even if we get a bit more upward momentum, we could get that rejection, come back down to solidify its bottom, which could well be here for XRP. And then once that's fully confirmed, continuation, just a reject, retest, continuation type of vibes. But yeah, we were heavily oversold, so I just don't feel XRP has much room. Personally, I don't see it has much room to the downside. So just doing it from the candle wick, swing low to swing, not the candle wick, the body of the candle. Oh, and just kind of look at it. Oh, the drawing's awful, but we are getting possibly rejected at the golden pocket, which I feel is healthy. So we may get that rejection, come back down to the 0.888, which is about that 50 cents region for XRP. Which again will just be healthy and amazing buying opportunity where it's at, even where it's at right now, to be honest, right by the golden pocket, amazing buying opportunity. So yeah, amazing for XRP. But yeah, that's kind of what I've seen for XRP. I have much more to say. I'm ready to end this soon, so let's jump onto the DX of the Y. DXY. Okay. So with what it's kind of recently done, we obviously went up to this level and we're getting rejected at this level. It's our resistance, a little rejection, a little retest, and we're back at it. My question is, will we come back down? Because what did I say in my last video? I says we may retest back to this level and then go on up, but it's not really done that. Is that still in the cards? Possibly. The RSI is sloping to go down a little. However, in the MACD we are still in the green, but it's looking like it's getting ready to turn, to switch soon. Yeah, could we get this little trading cluster and could it break above it, or will we get rejected off of it? The markets will open later, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Again, you know, even if we are rejected here, it's still, though not precisely, it still would make that double top. It still would make that if we just trade along this cluster, along this resistance, though it would be slightly lower, and then that would show weakness ultimately. Talking about the actual Bitcoin bull run, you know, if we just trade along this zone, if we do get higher and trade at the top to make a double top, but if we do trade along this zone, we just making, you know, like moves like this, just hovering around this zone basically, kind of a bit choppy, that would still make a double top, but this would be a lower high, which would show weakness for the DXY, which would prove like strength in the crypto market. So because of where it's at right now, though the RSI it was clearly overbought with what it's done here. This candle, these candles, was its overbought region, and it looks like the RSI is getting ready to reverse a little bit more. So as it comes to the markets, and like I says with Bitcoin and even XRP, could we still get that little retracement down, coming down? It's touching this RSI, and then would it try it again, like retest this, and then it begins to make its way up? That's a possibility, because as the crypto market has that little bit of strength to go up that little bit more, a tiny bit, and then it gets rejected down to find its true support, whilst this is going up, whether it's just trading choppy along here or breaks above it a little bit. Yeah, but if it's just choppy movement, especially when it comes to XRP and possibly Bitcoin, that's where it may not move or go back down that much. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It may just be, especially if Bitcoin can't hold these levels, it may just be that 51 to 53k, not much lower. But XRP, I don't know, I kind of would just rather it not go so low. No, obviously low places is good to put more money in, but it's just like, what would that mean for XRP and for some of the other ones if it goes super low? But that's kind of what I'm seeing anyway. I don't feel there's much more room for there's room for correction in the crypto market, like for sure, but not just like a lot of percent of room. So it's like this may have a little bit more momentum before finally giving up the ghost. Let's just see on a larger time frame, the RSI. So again, just as I says about creating that lower high, it's kind of doing it here as well on the RSI. Even if we have a trading cluster around here, it's like we're still creating this double top, this big M, but it's a lower high, which again is showing weakness. And on the larger scale of stuff, that we had a bit of strength as we created a higher low. On the larger scale, we're still creating lower highs, especially if we create a lower one than this zone, which will just confirm to me it will come back down at least to this level, at least to this 99 to 100 level. Yeah, and it depends how well it could hold that, like on the grander scheme of things. But I feel once it's making its way down back to this level, our bull run has definitely started, for sure. So that's why I'm like, there's not a lot of time left. There's definitely not. We've got a little while. Basically, we do have a little while, so to still get into the crypto market, but I am seeing the time is getting shorter and shorter. But that's what I am seeing for the DXY. That's basically what I'm seeing for this Crypto Angles podcast, my peoples. We'll soon be entering into May, so do make sure you grab both of them if you like, or just get one. The choice is yours, but do grab it so we can actually follow along and you can see for yourself. You can see for yourself, make your own analysis and things of that nature. But do let me know your thoughts, please. I beg, don't leave stupid, foolish, nonsense comments. Just say your opinion on where you think the market is going. Yeah, obviously I'm open to feedback, that's absolutely fine, but constructive criticism, please, people, not just because you're being petty. Do that on TikTok, follow me over there and comment nonsense, because I'll just laugh at you. But over here I just CBA. But thank you if you got this far in the video. Support your girl out if you liked it by just simply liking the video, that helps so much. And I'll catch you in the next Crypto Angles podcast, which will be number 56, I think. Oh shit, damn, is this number 56? I don't even know. I'm losing count, but we've done past a year. Well done to me. But anyway, with that being said, Angel out. Bye.